And this, of course, is only the beginning. What happens next in the impeachment trial is really anybody's guess at this point. If only we had a crystal ball, kind of like an expert in constitutional law, to just give us a look down the road. Good news. We do. Joy Wang spoke with UNM law professor Joshua Kasteneberg earlier tonight. We have shared him with you before. And Joy, he's not just looking ahead in all this. I mean, there's some history here, too.
There is. The last time an officer was tried in the Senate after leaving office was more than 100 years ago. But Kasteneberg says Trump's legal team did not use that fact effectively. He says even Trump's former attorney and other Republican senators criticized some of the arguments made by Trump's legal team today.
Not once do they acknowledge that the president was also a commander-in-chief. And as commander-in-chief, he had the authority to call out the National Guard to suppress the insurrection that was occurring on the 6th of January. Yet he took his time doing that. And that's going to hurt them factually. But to equate the president to an ordinary, normal human being with First Amendment rights such as you or I have, it has no basis.
We're living during unprecedented times, and a lot of what's happened with Trump's presidency has been unprecedented. No president has been impeached twice. No president has gone through 2 impeachment trials, and no president has been tried out of office, even though, as you said, other officials have. Moving forward, what do you think is going to be their strategy now that it is heading to a Senate trial?
The Democrats have the facts on their side, particularly since a number of the high-profile individuals who've been arrested as on the attack on the Capitol have said, look, we did this because the president asked us to do it, because he told us to do it. And so it's kind of hard if you're a defense counsel to overcome that level of influence that the president had over them. But what I think President Trump's attorneys are playing at is that they believe they have enough Republican senators who are afraid of the base to actually cast a vote that President Trump is in fact guilty. And that's what they're going for at the end of the day, that hope. You'll hear this from some of them who do it. They'll say, look, I believe President Trump violated the law. I believe there's a prosecution out there in a court of law, but the Senate isn't the place for it. So I'm voting to acquit on that principle. And that gives them an easy out.
Kasteneberg said House impeachment managers and Democrats made emotional and effective arguments today. A reminder that the senators voting were also witnesses to what happened on January 6th.
Every senator and every member of the House of Representatives, except for, I suspect, Hawley and Cruz in the Senate, and Mo Brooks and Boebert and Green and a handful of others in the House, had some level of fear that their lives were in danger. And I think Congressman Raskin and the Democrats did a very effective job of opening their memories back up to the fear of being in that moment. Because, once a mob is out of control, they're not going to distinguish between Republicans and Democrats. And the reality is Mitch McConnell was every bit as much in danger as Chuck Schumer was on that day, in that moment of time, and they know that.
Democrats will need 17 Republicans to vote to convict. Tessa?